Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni per Mariam. Welcome, women. Welcome to Feminine Genius Journeys. I am your host and guide, Gina Marie. And on today's episode, I want to talk about free birth. And in particular, I want to talk about the relationship between free birth and pharmaceuticals, medical industrial complex, global power, and how free birth is one way that we as individuals can remove ourselves from that stronghold of globalist power, globalist corporate power. And what inspired me was the events, the assassination attempt on President Donald Trump. I just want to thank God that he was spared, his life was spared. I think God has greater purpose for him. And I want to make a quick comparison of women who free birth and President Trump. And this, we have one thing in common, I'll tell you that, at least the one thing. But let's talk about the pharmaceutical capitalist stronghold. And Trump, with his policies and his statements, he's against that. Like, when the deep state and these globalist powers wanted to promote their miracle drug, the miracle jab, they suppressed other modes of healing because there's some law that was passed in the 80s that the government had to allow for other things. They couldn't say this is the only solution if there were other solutions. Now, if there are other solutions, this man-made solution or this one that they want to push would not have as much monetary value. And so Trump, the media made this big, Trump, he wants you to get horse shot or drink bleach and all these things, which was not what he said, but he was saying there are alternatives. And so he fought back with that, and I think he's fighting so much with big pharma, the military industrial complex. If he wins, these global wars come to an end. Global leaders, dictators, they don't like Trump. They respect him, but they don't like him. They are afraid of him. And so when he was in power before Biden, we had peace in the world. But he's not about making money through the industrial war complex as the Biden administration or the liberal left is. They're pro-war, actually. So pro-war means more money for them. So when we take our power as women, sovereign women, and birth outside of that medical industrial system, we are doing something so radical, and the global capitalist powers do not like it. That's why free birth is so demonized. Look at all your Instagram and all these places where people come in and say, oh no, you're putting your life and your baby's life at risk. Where do they get that? They get that from what we've been psychologically prepared for through the media, through public schools, all of that. And when we birth in our own sovereignty, in our own space, making our own decisions, letting the process happen as God so perfectly designed, aligning our hearts and our trust in God, if you're a believer in God, but definitely aligning yourself with your own body's intuition and knowledge, you're doing something radical. And the forces that be do not like that. They do not like that at all. And so I feel like this video is about solidarity with Trump, free birthing women and leaders like Trump who are fighting against quite literally the deep state. They're fighting against these powers that seek to control us. And that's what the hospital medical industrial system is all about. They're all about control. They want to control not just the birth of life, but going all the way to the conception of life. They want to have a hand in all that and death. And this is so much greater than we can really comprehend. It's truly a spiritual realm. It's a phenomenon in the spiritual realm that is manifesting itself through us. So when we choose to honor our autonomy, we are saying no to those demonic forces. And that's not to put any mother down who chooses to birth in the hospital. I birthed in the hospital, but I did it out of fear. Okay? I was told by the people in power over me, like I'm the victim in this, right? That victim mentality. We step out of that when we birth in sovereignty. But I had this fear that all the things they're telling me were true, and I didn't want my babies to die, or there's this risk that they could die, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's always a risk. Death is a reality of life, whether you're in the hospital, whether you're at home. I would argue that birthing at home is much safer, but I birthed in the hospital out of fear. So if that's you, I want to just encourage you to get grounded in truth, get grounded in the victor over death, who is Christ, Jesus Christ. And God designed birth. He designed it. For thousands of years, we birthed outside of hospital. Hospitals did not exist for much of human history. So fear not. It's this fear that, I mean, the devil uses fear to control. He uses fear. I mean, look at the fear mongering that the radical left has done to characterize Donald Trump as Hitler. If you are any bit aware and you watch actual video footage of Trump in context, you can see clearly this is all so wildly fabricated, so blatantly false, these things that are taken out of context. And so they do that. That's what the devil does. He misrepresents, he tells lies. And I mean, if you hear a lie enough over and over again, you start to believe it. And it's clear that many Americans believe the lie. They believe the lie that Donald Trump is the next Hitler. And, oh, well, the fact that the military industrial complex, the federal government, they have been lying to us for years, building, preparing us for total domination. That the devil doesn't stop. He wants total domination. Okay, so the fact that here comes these savior doctors in medical system to save us from ourselves, save our babies from ourselves. This is all a part of the lie. It's the mechanism of keeping us oppressed, suppressed, control our bodies through that, through the pill, like control. And I mean, where does it stop? It doesn't stop. The devil does not stop. And so this very simple, basic act of birthing in sovereignty is so radical that the government fears it. So there must be some value in birthing unassisted in one's power. There's something great there, because no matter what you believe, whether you're religious or not, whether you're Christian or not, you will undergo a transformation. When you birth in your sovereignty, you are forever changed, because you realize that this thing that you thought couldn't be done on your own, that you thought you needed the doctors to help you do, that you thought you needed drugs to help you get through, you did it on your own. Your body and your baby did it. You did it. You brought new life into the world on your own. The devil hates life. That's why abortion is such a big thing. That's why contraception is everywhere, even among Catholics who supposedly don't believe in artificial contraception or abortion, right? It's against Catholic teaching, but so many of us Catholics are just taking that as a part of life, and the Catholic Church, oh, they're old and crusty. Well, that's what the devil wants you to believe, because he wants to control you. And when you even start to have sex without artificial contraception, you will feel liberated. I don't have experience using any kind of contraception, but I can tell you it is liberating. Not having to fear. You're not afraid of conceiving new life. No matter your circumstances, God provides. The devil doesn't want you to think that. Look at Adam and Eve in the garden. The devil, he tells you, God didn't say that. Oh no, God's afraid of you becoming like him. Lies. And so, yeah, Big Pharma, Big Pharma is scared of free birth, because I'm still dealing with hospital bills. Thousands of dollars in hospital bills. For what? So they gave me like IV, they gave me Pitocin, all these, it's drugs. It's drugs, it's money. It's money. I didn't need Pitocin. I didn't need any of that. But they make it seem. And it takes a journey. It takes a journey of looking within to recognize that, I have culpability in all this. And I'm not saying that there aren't births truly that need to be done. I don't want to say done. Births that need to happen in the hospital setting. There are those rare cases. But for the vast majority, and I know this because of my intuition when I was in the hospital, my intuition was telling me, I don't need all this. This is wrong. Something's not right here. I don't know. But I was afraid. So I just let my fear, faith over fear. Well, my fear was over my faith. So it takes an internal journey to acknowledge this. And here comes my other baby. But that's just the message I wanted to put out there, is that thank God Trump survived that assassination attack. Thank God. And I stand united with him, and I feel solidarity with him, because he's for freedom. Freedom in all its forms. And free birth. Free birth is like this kind of freedom that I hope you all get to experience. And if you don't, hang on. If you don't, I mean, that's okay. I hope I get to do it again, but only God knows. So but we have to fight for our freedom. Fight for the women who have the potential to become mothers, for their freedom to free birth. That's what I hope to do with my work here, is to create this space where women can feel that they can do this, that they can birth in their sovereignty, that they can trust in God, and that they can have this journey too, because God created it to be this beautiful spiritual journey within ourselves and with our babies. So that's one way we can fight for freedom, is fight for free birth, and by holding space for women who want to do that, hold space for women who have had traumatic births, holding space for us to all grow and grow in our sovereignty, grow in our self-awareness, because these things are powerful. These things are what the devil's afraid of. And I truly believe that free birth is the beginning of a world transformation, because when women birth in their power and their sovereignty, nothing can stop them, because they realize they can do anything. When we do what is for the good of us, for the good of the ones we love, for the good, we don't do it. It's intention. It's about intention. We don't do it because we feel better or superior. We do because we feel the call from God. And I think God is calling us women to free birth. And this will be the beginning of a shift. And it's already happening. There's already a shift happening. I see it in the free birth community with women who have free birthed, and they're so empowered that they're not buying the lies of the media, of the government, they're not buying the lies anymore. They're not buying the lies anymore. They are awakened. We are awakening. This is the great awakening. We are rising up. We're awakening to our soul's purpose. And I see this with free birthing women, whether they're Catholic, Christian, or otherwise. And I mean, ultimately, I truly believe that Christ is our destiny, but we're all on this path together in various ways, this path of awakening. And so, women, I just want to join in solidarity with you in this path of awakening and say, Christ is King. Viva Cristo Rey.